flying cars. They're the poster child for where is my future. You've seen them in everything from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang to the Jetsons, Back to the Future Part 2, and the gritty dystopian skies of Blade Runner. It's a dream as old as aviation itself. Why stay stuck on the ground when the skies are the limit? But here we are in 2024, still sitting in traffic and silently cursing at red lights. So, what happened to the flying cars? Let's dig in. The 1968 classic Chitty Chitty Bang Bang featured a car that could sprout wings and take to the skies. It was whimsical and magical, sure, but it hinted at a world where flying cars could be part of everyday life. Then came the Jetsons, showing us a future where every family zoomed around in their own airborne bubble. Fast forward to the 80s and Back to the Future Part 2 promised us flying DeLoreans by 2015. Spoiler alert, Marty McFly lied to us. But it's not just Hollywood. The flying car's allure caught the attention of real-life inventors almost as soon as airplanes were invented. In the 1930s, a man named Waldo Waterman unveiled the Aerobile, essentially a car with detachable wings. But it never quite, took off. Why? Money, technology, and a sprinkle of unrealistic optimism. Here's the thing about flying cars. They're incredibly difficult to make safe, affordable, and practical. Imagine a car that's light enough to fly but sturdy enough to handle potholes. And let's not even talk about the legal nightmare of managing traffic in 3 dimensions. It's not just about hitting the brakes. You'd need air traffic control for your morning commute. Even today, the biggest hurdles remain. First, there's the question of power. Most flying car concepts need hybrid propulsion systems to transition between driving and flying. This is expensive and requires materials we're still figuring out how to mass produce. Second, there's infrastructure. Where do you take off and land? Your driveway? The grocery store parking lot? The reality is that flying cars need designated airspace and landing zones, and that's before we talk about regulations. And let's not forget the human factor. Drivers already struggle with parallel parking. Do we really trust them to avoid mid-air collisions? Despite the challenges, progress is being made. Companies like Terrafugia and Aeromobile have built prototypes of flying cars that actually work. Sort of. Terrafugia's Transition, for example, is a road-legal vehicle that can transform into a small aircraft. It's a 2-seater, has foldable wings, and can fly at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. But there's a catch. You need a pilot's license to operate it. And at $400,000, it's more Lamborghini than Toyota. Then, there are vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, or VTOLs. These are essentially flying taxis designed for urban air mobility. Think Uber, but in the sky. Companies like Joby Aviation and Lilium are leading the charge, with promises of commercial service in the next few years. Still, the price point and practicality keep these out of reach for most of us. But let's step back and appreciate flying cars for what they are, a symbol of humanity's optimism and creativity. Blade Runner showed us a world where flying cars hover ominously over neon-lit cities. But that's the thing. Flying cars are always about more than just transportation. They're about freedom, innovation, and a dash of rebellion against the mundane. In pop culture, they're as much a metaphor as a mode of transport. They're what we aspire to, even if we're not quite there yet. So why does the idea of flying cars still capture our imagination? Maybe it's because they're a promise of a better, faster, more exciting future. Flying cars represent the ultimate escape from traffic jams and the constraints of gravity. They're a symbol of possibility, proof that humans don't just settle for the status quo. We're dreamers, and dreamers build the future. Will we ever have flying cars like in the movies? Maybe not exactly, but one thing's for sure, the dream isn't going away. So the next time you're stuck in traffic, just look up. Maybe one day, you'll see the future zooming by. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the future of technology, pop culture, and everything in between. Until next time, keep dreaming big.